Hey, you. Get on the stick.
Yo, bring it.
Choose your fighter.
Yeah. How's it going, lads?
Fight.
Bang, bang, bang.
Flawless victory.
Side Quest Arcade.
Nostrovia, comrades. Welcome to Side Quest Arcade. Get your quarters out. Put your hands on the stick. Ding, player 1. Ding, player 2. What are we going to do? What are we playing today? We playing Street Fighter? We playing Sunset Riders? Maybe
No.
Marvel vs. Capcom? What are we playing?
No, we're playing Soul Calibur.
Never heard of it.
That's-
Why,
I
is
don't
that a
think
franchise?
I think that game's getting delayed, I heard.
Yeah.
Flint, you can keep trying, man, but like.
Wait, do you mean The Witcher? Do you mean The Witcher
Yeah,
featuring others?
Geralt Throws Hands featuring the cast of Soul Calibur. You mean that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard that
Remember that one.
looks great. Wait, are the others DLC or something? I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, all 26 of them. Yeah.
Well, that
Damn.
sucks.
Greedy
Sounds like
ass
a ripoff.
companies, man. Greedy ass
Man.
companies like that.
What is that? Project Red or whatever? Fuck them, dude. They're screwing Namco. I am your host, Matt. And with me are always with my good IRL friends, all people I've met in the real world. Flint, aka Micro Manatee.
How's it going, lads?
Brian, aka Happiness.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Ding ding. The reigning, the defending, the ultimate, the most ruthless competitor in the Smite community. Your one, your only, Andrew DefinePride.
What's up, gamers?
Oh shit!
Oh, comes in hot.
Oh shit!
This is why he's the most ruthless competitor.
The
one
most
expected
ruthless
that.
competitor.
No one
I was
expected
telling
that.
the boys before DefinePride came on stream. You guys know how whammies. I know listening. If you don't know who Dr. Disrespect is, first of all, do you live under a rock? Second of all, he's one of the most popular Twitch streamers right now. More on him later. But I was saying he always introduces himself as the back-to-back 1993-1994 BlockBuster champion. I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I'm pretty sure in 1995, DefinePride took his title. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm like 99% sure. The records can't be found.
You don't have to tell us, but how hard did you dunk on him? I'm gonna ask, did you dunk on him? How hard did you dunk on him?
Yeah.
He should be a baseball pitcher because he threw that hard.
Ruthless competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, DefinePride, I'm so glad you can make it. Obviously, we have a bit of a history. You with our original podcast, Defend Middle Lane. Obviously, we met playing Smite. Do you remember the first time you ever came on was because of a Q&A video that Hatmaster did?
Yeah, I remember the Q&A video. That was
So
a long time ago.
how does it feel to be Hatmaster's brother? That's my first question for you.
honestly, it was just a dumb joke because
Yeah.
people would always I'd randomly get messages because James and I would when we're off stream or off just talking to ourselves, he'd mention he really enjoys how people always message him and be like, hey, it's Hat. Or when he gets in the game, people be like, oh shit, it's Hatmaster, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
But whenever I get in the game or something, they'll be like, wait, aren't you Hatmaster's brother?
Yeah. I'm aware.
So that's how it started, and then we just joke about, and then during one of my streams, someone just decided that whenever I play good, I'm DefinePride, but whenever I'm playing trash, I'm Hatmaster's brother.
Unfortunately, you're Hatmaster's brother a lot.
Yeah.
I know. I watch your stream, buddy. I watch your stream.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Nacho got
Oh,
nerfed,
yeah, it
and that's
happens.
Really, realistically.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We can talk about that actually a little bit.
Rip that nerf.
That-
Yeah.
Um,
So, for those who don't know, yeah, DefinePride, his Twitch stream will be linked below. Definitely check it out. I'm often in there. I'm usually in the call too. Snow Mexican. Lots of guys in there. It's a good little group. That's a really funny community to listen to. I think these guys there are pretty fun. Guts, what's his name?
Neon Guts.
Neon Guts. Yeah, that guy's funny
Yeah.
too.
And Majestic Snipes as well.
Majestic Snipes. Yep. I'm just trying to think of all the names. It's
then
been a while. I've been working weird hours.
Yeah, so there's Snow Mexican, Insandy HD, Majestic Snipes, and Neon Guts. Those are the main 5, including me.
And myself. Come on, I'm often enough for chat. Chat likes it when I pick. I have a thing.
Matt's became the sugar daddy of the stream.
My name is Sugar Daddy. Yeah.
Listen, I better
So-
not hear that come out when we're in Japan. Like, oh, I'm the sugar daddy, baby. Like, no. I'm not here for
Give
that.
me enough, dude. Give me enough sake, and I'll be anyone's sugar daddy. Let's be real
All right.
here.
All right.
no.
Good. Noted.
All right, no, but no, definitely. If you haven't watched DefinePride stream, I just want to say that right now. Like, click it in the description, because hit that little like notification bell button, whatever the fuck it is on Twitch. It's a lot of fun. I love watching that stream. And of course, living in his brother's shadow. We'll put James's down there too, because Hatmasters and stuff.
We'll put Anthony
Yeah.
underneath his brothers.
How about that?
Define
roll
Pride's brother.
Define
Oh,
Pride's brother.
Yeah. Roll versus.
Oh my god.
One day. Anyway,
That's funny.
what are you up to, Define Pride? How have your games been? What have you been playing?
Game's been good. I've been actually enjoying Baron, not because he's OP. Not
I was about to
because
say,
he's
fuck
OP.
you, dude.
I've been going full movement speed on him with Shifter Shield and Boomba's Mask, and
Shifter
it's
Shield on Baron.
with his 2, he gets the speed. Oh, not shifters. I'm an idiot.
I don't even play
always-
Smite anymore, and I know you're full
I
of shit.
always call it. I don't know why I always call it Shifter Shield. I meant to say Shield of Regrowth.
Oh, okay.
I always
shifting.
call it Shifter
You
Shield.
shift and quit.
I shift into 6th gear. That's why I call it Shifter Shield. But
Maximum
when you ult,
sucks.
when you ult with full movement speed, you move faster than you're pulling them. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And
That's
I've
great,
just been
dude.
playing a fuck ton of that, and then of course Neja, even after nerf.
That's fine.
My main, my boy.
You're straight up. You're ride till you die. Like, even when
Mm-hmm.
Naja's top tier, you were there before.
Yeah.
When Naja's probably still pretty strong, but not in a great spot, you're still there.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's the movement speed is a weird interaction with the rest of his kit. I would say, like
Okay.
the like with the ring bounce. The ring bounce, you don't really like. It puts you in combat, so you don't really benefit from the extra speed until you're out of combat, and then you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Huh.
I've never really liked that. You don't really get a full potential of it.
Yeah,
But
you
it's
think
still-
you'd want it
he's
to
still-
chase.
Yeah, he's still a very speedy boy though. That's very true.
He's got rollerblades, yeah.
Heelys.
That's true. Anything else? What else you been up to?
Other than Smite, just been playing For Honor, and
Oh, For Honor. How's
no,
that?
not For. Well, I play a little For Honor. It's all right. It's not really my game, but
Okay.
besides For Honor, I've been playing Dead by Daylight. That's those 3.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
playing. I'm playing a lot of Dead games.
And didn't you play fucking? I know your brother plays this. The card game.
Oh,
Which
Slay
you
the
keep-
Spire, yeah.
Slay the
Yeah.
Spire. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? I'm watching you play it. Makes me want to think about getting it.
It's really fun. I actually recommend people get it. It's really good. They update it all the time. It's like constantly being monitored and updated and patched.
Cool.
So it's really good. It's
shit.
actually the developers are really active in the game, which is always good for a game, you know.
That's nice. I saw you build one thing where it was like you would stack your defense and then you would like block. It was like your blocks, and you'd have like 100, and then you would like tackle them, and it would do the number of your defense. It was so fucking funny, dude. That was so fucking funny.
That was one of my favorite. The other one is there's this card that you can upgrade it infinite times. So I upgraded it throughout the entire build, and at the end of the game, I got this item that lets you deal double damage with a card. So I would deal like 300 damage turn 1, and I kept one-shotting things. So that was
That's
fun
pretty
too.
cool. That's pretty
It's a really
cool.
good game. Yeah, I recommend everybody should go check it out. Slay the Spire. It's a really good game.
All right, little recommendation from our boy Hatmaster's brother, Flint. What are you up to? Well, how are your games this week?
Oh man, I feel like I'm 12 again. I feel like I'm Aiden right now.
Oh shit! Why, you playing Call of Duty?
I pre-ordered Call of Duty.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I haven't done it. I haven't
Uh-oh.
done it since Modern Warfare 3, baby. It feels weird. It feels weird as fuck.
I saw the weirdest tweet the other day, and it was like, how old am I? I feel like getting Call of Duty. What year is it? Like, and it was so true because like Call of Duty was so like I think Black Ops like the first one was like that peak. It felt like maybe Modern Warfare.
Modern
But then,
Warfare
like,
3, I would say, would have been the peak.
It would have been one of those two for different people, right?
Yeah.
And then like after that, like no one really gave a shit about COD anymore. And for this game, everyone's like, motherfucker, Call of Duty, dude. And I'm like, holy, like Ninja's playing it, like
It's
Dr. Disrespect, like.
from my understanding,
Everyone.
there's two different developers that get it back and forth between the CODs, right? That's how they manage to pump one out
Okay.
every year. And
Oh.
Treyarch is the one that has zombies and has like they made World of War, they made Black Ops,
Yeah.
they made this one.
Okay.
So, generally people prefer that one better. Although I will say Infinity Ward did an amazing job with the Modern Warfares, the ones I played anyway.
Right.
It's a fucking sick game. I feel old as shit playing it because I'm like I remember buying these games at like EV Games when they first came out. This is
Hell yeah,
fucking
dude.
wild.
Hell yeah.
I played a solo match, because right now it's in beta.
Yeah.
Zombies isn't a game mode you can play. You can't play any of the main game modes. All you can play is the Battle Royale mode, right? Which
How's that?
actually clean as fuck. It's
What
really
about it?
fun.
So,
Yeah, I have a
with my
question.
own ignorance here. Call of Duty, is that the Blackout I hear everybody keep talking
That's
about?
Blackout. Yeah, Blackout is what they call their Battle Royale mode.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
The
I
blackout is
haven't-
the hurricane in the southern eastern United States.
No, that's Florence.
That's
No,
I
and it's
hate that
causing
they
a-
gave
it's
them the
causing a
stupidest
blackout.
names, man. Yo,
It's
Florence is coming
causing
to
a
beat your
blackout.
ass. Be ready, North
Dude,
Carolina.
Florence and the Machine? What?
Oh man, like
That's a
give
music
call him like
reference.
fucking Ultra Megatron or something like that. Everyone will leave.
They should. Everyone, yeah. Well, dude, I was watching it on the news, and all the people that were like, "Nope, I'm not staying," and then they showed them like after, and they're like, "Yup, should have left." It's like, you stupid fuck. You stupid fuck. It's like, I know. Everyone's like, "Oh, the deep state," and it's the Hillary Clinton, and no. Listen,
Just get the
when there's
leave,
a
just go home.
big ass hurricane, ain't got nothing to do with the government. Get your ass out. Like,
Yeah,
Stay
you gotta
safe.
book out of there.
Yeah, well, I've been playing that. It's clean shit. They have what they've done instead of like making little towns and stuff that are really generic and bland. They've taken old Call of Duty maps and they're like all the maps are the different spots. You can go
Okay,
to. So you can go to
okay,
Nuketown, you can go
respect,
to Asylum. you can
respect.
go- it's like and
respect,
cool.
each
honestly.
area, like if you go to Asylum, you can get all the zombie guns from the World
So
of
wait,
War
can you-
zombie series.
So wait, can you go to like Vietnam and then go like back to like America? Like,
Yeah, well, okay. So for Black Ops, you can go to Nuketown, I think,
Okay.
and there's Hydro Dam from Black Ops 2. I want to say I never played Black
Okay.
Ops 2, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Wait, I gotta ask then, is do they give you the ray gun?
yes, I just got the ray gun
Oh.
the last game I played, and it's OP, dude. It two shots people. So,
Oh my
but you
God.
can go, you drop into Asylum, for example. It's set up like the map. Zombies are present. You can kill them. They're like little loot boxes. You can get ammo and guns, like the ray gun from them. You can get all the guns from that era of Call of Duty, and that's the only spot you can get them. So you can get like this Y-hander. You can get the fucking MP5, shit like that. It's pretty lit. It's pretty lit.
that is pretty lit.
It's like I'm enjoying it. The gunplay's clean. The only thing I don't like is their menu system. It's kind of ass. It just auto equips. Like if you see it attached from the ground, you go to pick it up, it just immediately equips it to your gun. You don't. There's no drag and drop menu really. It's kind of like,
Oh,
Oh
It's
yeah,
kinda-
I heard something about that. Someone was saying that they really hated that. They were ranting on Twitter.
yeah. I think it was Cooper.
Is,
We were
uh,
playing with Cooper.
Was it Cooper?
Yeah,
Okay.
high res Cooper or skill shot Cooper. Tampa
Dude,
Bay Lightning #1 fan Cooper. Okay.
Evil Mojo Cooper, dude.
Hell yeah. So
Evil
tight-
Mojo.
Titan Quest. I don't know.
Where,
We
where
don't
all
talk
the
about
names?
that. I don't even know
Yeah.
anymore. I don't even know.
Heroic
They're all
Leap.
high res to me.
they're all still.
Evil Mojo, Titan Forge Games, and Skill Shot something. I don't even know.
Skill shot media.
What's the
No,
realm? What's the Realm Royale one? And when are they gonna change it to Dead Game?
It's Heroic Leap, currently being changed
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah,
Falling
yeah.
Miserably.
More like Heroic Leap. More like heroic fall.
Oh.
Shit. You know what pisses me off? There's no Bot Smasher studio. Fine, Pride.
Where
You
you at,
right there with
Hi-Rez?
me on that Bot Smasher grind.
I am pissed off. I am
I'm
calling
still
you
waiting
out.
for my email. I'm
Hey,
pissed.
high-res dry bear, come on, get your shit together. Let's go.
I downloaded a iOS. I downloaded iOS so I fucking thing just so I could play Bot Smashers, and I was practicing, getting
don't
ready.
worry-
Where
don't
is
worry-
it, Dry Bear?
Don't worry,
Where is
Define
it?
Pride. You're on a podcast. You don't need to talk well.
No, you don't. It's like you just gotta look pretty, and you got it. You're in the bag, and you're already
Yeah.
there.
You got the
Ruthless
looks,
competitor.
dude.
You're right there.
I can't remember what it's called. God damn it! When
You
you
like you dual boot? Can't talk either.
no, like
We're fine.
I know what you mean,
Wh-
yeah.
2 out of 4.
like
Yeah, it is.
you make a fake like a Game Boy. I forget what it's called.
Emulator.
Like an emulator.
Jesus Christ! Yeah.
There we go. We
They
got it.
had an iOS emulator just playing Bot Smashers, getting ready, getting hyped, gonna hit esports bot smashing.
Side Quest Arcade, episode 20. Hatmaster's brother forgets what an emulator is. That'll be the title. Perfect.
Oh, that's. You know what pissed me off when we were tweeting about Bot Smashers and fucking Dry Bear liked your tweet. I was like, no, don't like the tweet.
Yeah.
Make the
Don't
game.
like the tweet.
Make the game. That's what we're here for.
Stop liking
What-
tweets and get back to work.
Yeah. What if he's contractually obligated not to make it now? He's like,
He probably
listen,
is.
You're
The game's probably
part of
dead.
Paladins. You can't make Bot Smashers now. And he's like every night he sees his like that costume he made like on the wall before he
Don't-
goes to bed.
Don't worry. Realm Royale's dead. He can go make bot smashers now.
Woo!
Ooh.
Is he with Paladins or
He's
Realm
with
Royale?
Realm.
Realm.
He's with
Realm.
Realm now.
He was with Realm, yeah.
That's why. That's the main reason why there's no Bot Smashers, because Realm Royale took off.
Yeah. Like Matt said, it's a heroic leap to Bot Smashers now.
Hey,
Hey,
ruthless.
there we go.
Ruthless.
Same
competitor.
Well
for
played.
Hand of the God too. That's kind of
Ooh, yeah.
kinda
Smite
gone.
tactics, dude. Smite.
They got the same amount of players on Steam. About Realm Royale sitting at 1,800. Hot Gods is at like 1,600 monthly.
oof.
Oof.
Mm.
Yo,
I'll look
I
more.
actually liked
rough.
Hand of the Gods when it was like you moved around your boss character and shit. That was
Me
like
too.
hype. But then they
Yeah.
changed that. I was like, nah, I'm not interested. And everyone
Yeah,
said,
you defend some dumb crystal now.
yeah, everyone was like, we don't like this. We liked the champion thing. And Hi-Rez went, too bad.
By
Seems
by
to
rules.
be
It was more fun. It was more fun. It was harder to bounce, so that was for sure.
That seems to
But
be
the
a lazy
crystal-
excuse, though. They
Yeah,
keep
it
saying
is.
that.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is.
They keep saying, "Oh, it's too hard to balance." Classes in Realm Royale, the most defining thing about our battle royale, too hard to
Too hard
balance.
to balance. Too hard to balance.
Card system in Paladins, too hard to balance.
Dota 2 almost has like twice the amount of characters. Too hard to balance.
Nah, Dota's fine.
Yeah.
Honest
Dota's
question.
perfectly fine.
While we're talking about battle royales,
Sure.
have you guys seen any of the footage from the Battle Royale?
Just Duke Sloth. Duke Sloth made a video about it, and I was curious, so I clicked it. And it,
I watched a couple of.
I
videos.
haven't heard about Battle Right. I know a little bit, but like I haven't
Battle
seen
Right.
it or
Battle
anything.
Right is the developers that the Smite community wants, just not the game.
Aw.
I mean, so like I don't know if it's ever been said in the podcast, but me and Matt were talking off air once, and we were talking about Battle Right, and my exact words to Matt were, "What was that really fucking great game that nobody plays? What was that again?" And Matt just immediately, "Oh, Battle Right, that's the one you're talking about?"
Because it is. It's a really good game that nobody plays.
And like, I was like,
It's like
I don't
gigantic.
have any interest in any of the Battle Royales. I played. Oof.
yeah.
I played
you hurt
two
me.
Battle Royale matches with Flint, and that was like the only two I'd ever played. And I played I think 2 Realm Royale, so I played a total of like 4 matches, 5 matches, and
I just don't like.
I'm not
the
a shooter
genre.
player, number one, but Battle Royale actually piques my interest a little bit.
I suck at Battle Royale.
I don't
so
know.
much.
I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys all saw. Hunger Games. I'm talking about everybody, not just not just you guys, but the whammies listening. Like y'all saw Hunger Games, and you guys just fell in love with the idea of Battle Royale, but I never got into it, man. Didn't think the Hunger Games was that good. I don't know what to tell
Listen,
you.
man, I was a shooter boy growing up, so I always have a soft spot in my heart for fucking gunplay.
Oh, shooters, yes. Realm. I just don't
Yeah.
get the Battle Royales. I just don't get it. I don't know.
I was a Halo kid.
Halo, hell yeah. Dude,
I was talking with Croshan about Halo today. Or not today,
Nice.
yesterday. Shit.
Dude, I grew up on Blood Gulch, man.
See, I never had an Xbox, so I only ever played it at friends' houses.
That shit was fun. I wish they'd make a good Halo game again. I'd play that in a heartbeat.
I think Anti or some other person tweeted. They said, "Dude, dead ass. If a good Halo game came out, it would still be a game changer, and everyone would play it." And I was like,
Yeah.
I agree. If they made a
That's
good
true.
one, absolutely. There's so many people that are nostalgic for Halo. Like
The last good Halo game was, for some people, Halo 4. For others, Halo Reach.
I would say Reach.
I
yeah.
would say, yeah,
Yeah.
Reach for me.
Reach.
Some people say Halo 4 was good. I felt
Four-
like it was
Fell short.
It's like
had okay mechanics.
yeah. They just but like if they dead ass made like anyway, we're talking about other shit.
And it,
Flint, you got anything else to say?
Yeah, you want me to finish my week? I kind of told this to Brian earlier. I had a D&D story I wanted to tell. I thought it was pretty funny.
All right.
I kind of half told it to Brian. I'm in another campaign. I'm not in Justin Brian's. I'm cheating on him. We got a fucking weekly going on because I need more D&D in my
It's
life.
okay. I only put out once a month.
Yeah, I gotta
Brian-
get that weekly fix, man.
Premium, bitch.
We're doing a main campaign, but it got kind of put on hiatus while we're figuring out who the fuck's DMing for it. So we're doing one-shots now, which is just like off adventures. So I just make fucking ridiculous characters. Made like a turtle monk, has like a fucking Brooklyn accent. I'm basically just Donatello beating the fuck out of people. But in this one shot, I made a sorcerer, and he's got wild magic. So every time you cast a spell, something random can happen to you, like your skin turns blue, or a giant fireball appears at your feet and fucking roasts you, or you can't use magic anymore. Like just like shit like that happens. I was like, fuck it, I don't care about this character. We got sent to turn a dude who was turned into a sheep back into a person. His apprentice was like, yo, I'm the head wizard, turned him into a sheep. Now he's got the Bonobo battalion protecting him. Literally, we get to
What's
the
up,
fucking
guys? Double J here.
Double J here. It's gonna talk about what you shouldn't do in Smite. He I like those videos actually a lot. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
me too.
we get there. We get to the dungeon, or like the final encounter or whatever, and there's just gorillas everywhere.
Jesus.
And so this fucking wizard has like turned all his guards into fucking bonobos and chimpanzees and gorillas, and they're just patrolling the yard. They're just fucking looking to throw hands. Now we gotta steal a wand from this guy, so we don't have to fight anyone. We can just fucking break in. According to the module, you're supposed to throw hands, but we were like, no, we're not doing that today. I fucking go up to the door, disguise myself as a monkey, knock on the door. He's like, the DM out of character was like, this is not gonna work. You're not gonna roll high enough. Bitch, please.
20.
Fucking 23 on the
Sorcerers have high
deception check.
charisma.
I knocked on the door. I said, boss, I left a banana peel inside. Can you unlock the door real quick? 23 on the deception. The guy rolled like a 2 or something to like counter it. I don't know how you counter it in 5e. I think it's like insight or bluff or something.
Insight, yeah.
Insight, yeah. So he rolled like a 2 on insight. So I could hear the DM go, okay. And I knew that we were starting to break him. So he lets me into the house. I'm in the dungeon. The rest of my party is hiding in the bushes. They're like trying not to get found out by gorillas. He has the boss. The boss goes, all right, where's your banana? It's in the kitchen. All right, go to the kitchen. Whatever.
Whatever, I don't care.
So, I'm ransacking this dude's kitchen looking for a banana. You think I can fucking find one? No. Dude has no potassium in his life. DM's like, there's no bananas here.
Hold up. Dude has a bunch of monkey guards and no bananas.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, this is bullshit. You're telling me
Is it your DM's first fucking day?
It's his second day, I think.
Brian would have had
really
this.
good DM.
Brian would have had this whole backstory about where the bananas are located and why they're there because of a previous incident. And this motherfucker, no bananas. There's no fucking
No bananas.
Brian would have had the
Bro.
Latin genome for the fucking banana. He'd be like, it's this
Dude would have
specific
had
kind.
the lore. Brian would have had the lore.
It had
That's all I'm
notes on the
saying.
banana. I love it.
Dude, Brian has a whiteboard beside his computer, and it's full of banana facts. This is true. I've been to his house. More on that later. Top 10 banana facts.
There it is. It's
Top
all
10.
bananas right there.
All bananas.
All bananas. Anyway, Flint,
So
proceed.
I roll a fucking 18 on perception. She's like, there are no bananas here. And now I'm panicking. Because I'm disguised as a monkey. No bananas in sight. I have to walk by this guy again, right? I'm like, remember I got a spell. I can make an illusion in my hand. Illusion of banana. We're there. We got it. We got the illusion.
We out
I'm
there.
walking
We
by.
out there.
Okay, boss, I got my banana. Meanwhile, I'm trying to scope out this fucking wand. It's in his pocket. Fuck. I can't. I'm not stealth. I'm not a rogue. I have like 0. I have like 11 dexterity or some shit like that. I'm like, I could try.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my friends got caught by the bonobos outside. They're throwing hands
Man.
with monkeys outdoors, and I'm just like, neither of us.
You almost think, are they the bonobos? Like,
Yeah, like, so they're having a standoff outside. Eventually, the guy goes to the door to see what the fuck's going on. And I'm like, this is my moment. This is my time. I'm gonna steal this fucking wand. Make the banana disappear. Cast Mage Hand. My DM go. Bear in mind, so the wizard's standing in a circle of monkeys, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Right? I'm gonna pickpocket this motherfucker with Mage Hand. DM goes, Are you sure? You sure you want it? I was like, yeah. No, I've seen this before. I know I can do this. He goes, a massive ghostly hand appears next to the wizard. Like, oh fuck, I forgot people could see that shit. I for some reason thought Mage Hand only I could see it, or like it was like Unseen Servant where it was invisible. But no, this big ass ghost hand comes out.
I wouldn't say big. It's
Well, it's a
hand
regular
size.
hand, but it's a ghost hand. Like people notice that shit, right? Wizard
Well, if it's
didn't.
behind him, it could be behind his back. Right?
The wizard didn't notice because he thought I was a real monkey that could speak English. So like whatever. But the rest of the monkeys were like, whoa, and they just watched this hand just trying to like float by me. One of the chimps grabs the wand and is like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" I didn't know that it wasn't gonna work. So I'm sitting there dick in the wind now. I'm like, I'm kind of fucked. Like all these monkeys looking at me. Got the wizard looking at me. I don't have the wand. Turns out my party had a plan, didn't tell me. They had one person hide in the bushes that had a pet ferret or like a weasel. Threw the weasel like a fastball. Grabs the fucking wand out of the chimp's hand and just runs into the forest. Gone. Dude doesn't have his wand anymore. I should mention the wand is central to this whole module. The wizard is supposed to take it, turn his bed into a dragon, make the gorilla like 9 times as big as he's supposed to be. Like he needs this wand. This wand is like core to this final encounter.
Oh my god.
And the DM, he's a new DM. He's really fun to play with, but he was like, I need give me a minute. He's like scrolling through the thing. We totally derailed this shit. He's like, okay. So we continued the fight, and it was easy peasy after that, because now there's no dragon, there's no massive gorilla. We're just throwing hands with monkeys. I'm like, fucking whatever. I'm a sorcerer. I got twin spells. I'm just firing fireballs everywhere. Everyone's dying. He's like, the end of the session, we're like, hey, that was a really fun time. Good bonobo madness. And he just posted the module in the group chat and said, I want you to read this to see how far off the rails you fucking took me with that final encounter. Never underestimate a player's ingenuity. That's all I'm saying. I can't do that shit with Bjorkus because like his job is like I'm gonna punch him real hard.
The way I write my campaigns are so much different though too. Like one of my strengths is like the maps and then the way I make the encounters, but then my weaknesses are like sometimes those side things, like the your ability to knock on a door and sneak in isn't as obvious. So I'm very much like a Final Fantasy game, just like fighting your way through with all that planned. So I also don't leave as many openings for that, which is something I know I need to work on. But another thing that you told me that was funny too, like that was actually, I didn't get the full story. That was awesome. But the way you lost your old DM, that just like, that cracked me up too.
Oh, yeah. So the reason our campaign's on hiatus, I joined through Reddit. I found a group on Reddit. And the guy, I sit down in the call with him, and it's a 1v1 interview. And he goes, this is how it's going to be, all right? I don't want you to miss a session. If you're going to miss a session, I need a week in advance. I will not tolerate flouncers. Ever. Deep state.
Dude, this guy's the most Redditor ever. Like, actually, I would have told him to get bent and left the call.
I just want to play D&D. I was like, this guy's like, he's doing it on time. I can get behind, whatever. I'm gonna miss sessions. It's gonna happen, but whatever. But he told everyone, I will not tolerate anyone ghosting you. If you ghost me or you don't give me a good reason why you're not there, you're kicked out of the Discord. You're kicked out of the Roll20. I won't have it.
Cool.
Right? A few weeks go by, no problems. No one missed a session. Like, we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. We're here because we want to play. And
obviously,
he goes, oh, my schedule changed, so I can't play on the nights that we're playing now. We're gonna have to reschedule. And
should have told him you won't tolerate flounders, you won't tolerate ghosting.
Dude,
like that's what I would have said to him.
So we said, no, that's fine.
Straight
I need
up.
a couple weeks to sort this out. Fair enough.
I won't tolerate
So
this.
we got
That's
another
what I
person to
would've told him.
DM one shots, and this is what we've just been doing every week. We just play a one-shot module. And
For sure.
this guy, Mr. No Flouncers, dead ass, leaves the Discord, promotes the guy that's been doing the one-shots to the DM role in our Discord. Not a word to anyone. He's gone. Gone in the wind. No messages, nothing. He's out. He's just... He's going ghost. He's gone. We haven't heard from him. We've tried to get in touch with him. Nothing. You ghosted us. We're like, you're gonna come at us about missing sessions, about being a flouncer, and then you're just gonna fucking ghost us. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Dude, intolerable.
But I will say
That's
that led
hilarious.
into Bonobo times.
The
this
Bonobo
week, so,
Battalion, so.
I wouldn't have had that otherwise. I'm playing a very serious character in the main campaign, so I wouldn't have been able to do it. You know.
Oh my god. I've only played D&D twice. I actually played last night with my friends. We all went to their house, had some good drinks. We had a D&D session. It was kind of like a tutorial. We start off with none of our items and shit. We start off with none of our items, and we are in an arena, and we ask some guards, we're like, what the fuck's going on? And they'll be like, oh, you'll find out. So we go into this huge-ass arena, and then 2 gates open, and people wearing blue show up, and then people wearing red show up, and it's like, oh, by the way, you're all wearing green. So then basically we had a huge arena fight.
So you had a big arena fight. See, that sounds really fun. Brian wouldn't be able to do that because he hates how loud the crowd would be.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
This is an
the
inside
truth?
joke I'm not feeling.
Brian?
What happened?
Okay, so when we used to play Smite, we'd all play like Clash and shit, and then we'd play Arena sometime, and Brian was like, oh, I love Arena. Brian likes Arena, but he can't stand is the cheering in Arena. It fucking drives him nuts.
He must not like the new Joust adventure either.
I haven't played in like
he hasn't
8
played
months.
Yeah, they have a little spectator. Like, if you remember the old map,
Yeah.
they have a little arena area.
Yeah.
I uninstalled Smite like 4 months ago. I haven't.
Point
had any
is-
interest
Wow.
in it.
Brian couldn't do that map. He couldn't do that Arena.
Every fucking time it would be going, and then you'd get that stupid bug where it wouldn't leave the goddamn match. Like, you'd just be stuck on the win or defeat screen because somebody like quit too soon, and the cheering is just screaming in your fucking ears, and there's
It's
no
not
way
that
to
loud.
turn it off.
It ain't that loud.
I mean, it's just like, you know, headache-inducing, like membrane rattling, like
It ain't
it's
that
really
deep,
a
fam.
health hazard. They need
It
to
ain't-
fucking fix this.
A health. It ain't that deep. fam.
Health
It ain't that deep.
With the
All
Q
right,
arena
worse.
warning,
I hate it.
arena, the crowd is screeching loud to simulate a live experience.
I mean, look, it's hype sometimes when you get like the kill in the arena cheers. It's like, that was really brilliant. Can I turn it the fuck down? Just
Yeah.
like, please.
For when you start up arena, put in the settings crowd volume.
Yeah, dude.
But
Brian,
anyway,
turn this
so
check off.
so we were fighting. One of my friends had high sneak, so he decided to sneak off into an area where people didn't come out of, but it was open, and he hears mooing. So he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna release these cows into the crowd and into the arena, kill everybody." It turns out it was 2 Minotaurs.
Yo, Flint's
out.
character.
Yeah, 2 Minotaurs
character
walk
came
out and
out.
start beating
Did
the
he
shit
have
out
a
of
southern
everyone.
accent?
Yeah, probably.
Southern
No,
accent.
It
Huh?
fucking well shoulda. That's Minotaur speak for. That's just their fucking accent, dude. That's how it is.
We had some weird characters. We had someone who was a warlock that accidentally turned himself into a centaur
Happens
and can't
all the time.
undo the spell.
Yeah.
And then there's someone who's a bard, but he's a gnome. So he's a little gnome holding this huge ass fucking guitar everywhere.
That's pretty funny. I think I used to like Pathfinder, and my favorite character that I don't remember his name. I don't even like he was a fighter, but the only thing that made him so much fun to play is that he was a half orc, but he thought he was a person because he was raised by people. That was his origin. So whenever it came to like anything, he would always refer. He's like, "Look, guys, as a fellow human," I would always say sentences like that. And one time, we were at a tavern, and there was some half orcs chilling over there, and we needed to talk to them. And my whole party was like, "Yeah, Matt, you should go talk to them." And I was like, "Why? Why would I talk to them? That makes no sense. Like, why me over any of you?" And they were like, because you're a big fighter like they are. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." So I'd walk over to them and I'd be like, "Hello, fellow fighters," and they would like talk to me and like respect me. In my opinion, it was so funny though. Like they were like, "Oh, hello," and I was like, "Hello, half orcs," and then they would be like, "Oh, hello," and I was like, "Yes, why don't you join our party?" And they like made like an off comment about me being a half orc, and my character had like 2 intelligence. I made him like fucking stupid on purpose. Partly because I wanted this to be... I always make characters that are, like, really, really lopsided for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it went fucking woo right over his head. It was great. That was my favorite character I ever made.
My current D&D character, he's Dragonborn, and he was also raised by humans. And 2 of the players that were there were playing my siblings.
Oh.
That were actually like the blood kids of the father that like adopted me, and they're human, but then they both seemingly made their characters like super short, and I'm like 6'8".
That's
so
funny.
I'm a 6'8" barbarian dragonborn, and then with like a 5'1" human male cleric brother and a 4'10" human female monk for my siblings. And we would always just be like, "Oh, like, where'd you guys meet? We're brothers." It's like, and then the DM would like always just like look, and then he would look up with his eyes intentionally, and then look down, and he's like, "It's an interesting family."
That's funny.
Do you have anything else, Flint? I know we went sidetracked on a little D&D quest there, but
dude.
D&D's always the best.
That's the best kind of sidetrack. That's a side quest, you know. We're out here
side quest. We're in the arcade. We're jumping
We're in the
game to
arcade,
game right now.
questing. No, other than that, I haven't really done much. Been fucking playing Call of Duty and playing D&D, and that's been my week. So.
Wicked. All right. Well, Brian didn't do anything this week. I don't know. I was there, so why don't you just go?
Hold
over
on.
whatever.
Back that up. The greatest crossover in anime history happened, and we're just gonna gloss over that shit.
It was on Watch Mojo's top 10 crossovers. This is.
It was the entire top
shit.
10.
Here we go.
It was the entire top 10.
Just that.
It was
Just that.
I mean,
Brian,
to be fair,
what-
there was
tell
like,
me-
you know,
why don't
the
you
Light
tell
of Gondor, there was a Russian spy, there was an Asian, I don't know what, and just like
A lot of
lumberjack.
animals. A lot of animals.
And a lot of animals.
Brian, why don't you tell it from your perspective, and then I'll tell everyone what actually happened.
All right. So even before Matt got here, I knew, like, you know, Friday ended. I think we recorded on a Thursday. Friday, I had just, like, a fuck ton of work to do. And, no, I had training to do, actually, so I fucked off early, if I remember. I came home and I downloaded Spider-Man because it was out. And then I was like, okay, you know, Matt's coming. I'm kind of needing to find some games to kill some time till Soul Calibur comes out. Let's play some Spider-Man. And I then played it like all night Friday night up till like 2 in the morning. Saturday, we got company coming over, so my wife's like, we need to clean the house. This place is a fucking disaster. You know, we only actually got like 70% unpacked and then just left the other 30% to just stay packed for a while because we're like, we can live. It's too much work. So we unpacked probably another 20%. So, you know, we got like 10% of the house still unpacked. And then again, I played till like 2 a.m. And then the next day, Matt was originally going to show up on Sunday, but then work kind of said, no, he can't, so he's going to come on Monday. And our entire day's plans basically revolved on Matt showing up, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play Spider-Man literally all day. So because I was up till 2 a.m. the night before, I woke up at like 10. And I woke up at 10, and I played Spider-Man right until midnight. Just like 14 straight hours. I stopped to go grab like a sandwich. I think my wife cooked dinner and like brought it down to me. God bless her. And I just played like 14 straight hours of Spider-Man. The game is clearly very enjoyable. And by that point, I was almost done everything in it. Like I was doing every side quest, everything. And so then Monday, when Matt's gonna come over, I had to go pick up some other stuff. And then I just played Spider-Man, and I literally platinumed the game like 20 minutes before Matt got to the house. So I picked up Spider-Man on Friday and platinumed it by Monday. So it's not that long, but that's my first platinum trophy on my PlayStation. So it's clearly a very enjoyable game. And so then when Matt was coming over, I also had the benefit that on Friday night, I was like, look, Matt's coming over on Sunday. I'm taking the living room TV because it's bigger than the one I have down here. And so I stole the 50-inch TV from the living room and hooked it up downstairs. I gave my wife the little, 30-inch TV. And she finally made me switch it last night. I was trying my damnedest to keep that TV downstairs for weeks. As long as I could. And, so yeah, then Matt showed up Monday. What did we do Monday? I think Monday we went out for dinner. And then we came back. And, after you kind of got here, we went and picked up a Bikini. We went to the Canadian Brew House. We came back, and I think we just, sat and chatted and watched some, YouTube for an hour, and then both just passed out at, 9:30.
I was so fucking tired, dude. That's a long-ass drive, let me just say.
How long's the drive?
And it's 6.5 hours. But
Damn.
it's not like you can coast. I've driven longer, technically. But with that sort of drive, it's, most of it's BC, and it's, rural.
Fucking rural, bud.
It's deep state forest BC. So is what I'm trying to say. So it's just constantly you can't even fucking relax. You're doing this the whole fucking drive because you're turning. You're fucking oh man, right? You can't even none of it's straight. It's uphill, it's downhill. It's just mountains. I'm driving in the mountains because I'm doing southern BC. Once I hit Alberta, it's just flat, and that's nice. That's when you can coast, right? You're just fuck yeah, fucking one hand on the wheel, music pumping, right? That's when it's nice.
Cruising.
But it's just when you're in Sparwood and it's world's largest, you're pissed off. I came straight from work basically, so I'm fucking tired as hell from a night shift, and I'm driving this thing. And I'm in Sparwood, and it's world's largest truck, and I'm who gives a fuck as I drove by.
It's not even that big. Fuck you.
It wasn't. I was I drive bigger at work. Fuck you. I was just bitter. And it's just man,
But I'd like
you
to
know,
see
it was
you
fine.
drive the world's largest nickel or something. Go by.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stop for that. Come on. Still only worth 5 cents. Huh?
I have bigger ones in my pants.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't wrong. Go ahead, Brian. What else happened?
So yeah, then Monday, I woke up at 6:30 or 7, and I'm waiting for Matt to crawl out of bed, and then I'm all right, I know he only slept 3.5 hours before driving from BC to Alberta, so I'll just let the dude sleep. He could barely keep his eyes open at 9 o'clock last night, and then I'm all right, so I can't remember what the fuck I was playing. I think I was just watching YouTube.
You're watching?
Anime.
No, you're watching Baruto, dude.
No, I watched Baruto later. That day, I think
okay.
I was watching There was a Soul Calibur tournament. And then
Oh,
there was a
yeah, that
Tekken
was it.
tournament,
It was a Soul
the
Calibur
mix-up
tournament.
tournament. So I was watching
Yeah.
a bunch of those. And then it was okay, then I took my wife to the bus stop. And then Matt finally crawls out at noon.
No, it was 11. So first off, whammies, in my defense, time change, first of all. So I was an hour behind, sleep schedule-wise. Second of all, I was up. I was just watching YouTube on my phone. I was just fucking I don't feel like getting out of this bed. Oh,
You know what? We've all been there. We've all been there.
Define Pride
all.
uploaded something. Let me dislike and comment something mean.
Let me be one of those guys that immediately like has you on notification so I can dislike your video.
Yeah,
That's some
exactly.
shit.
That wasn't me. Nah, DefinePride doesn't upload.
You
I
just
don't upload
uploaded,
enough.
dude. You just uploaded.
I know. Hey,
It was some good shit. It was
yeah, well,
Frank
listen,
Qualies?
it's always fire. It's always fire. That yearly upload is always fire.
It's like when I upload, I light a torch, and then the next mountain peak lights their torch, and they pass it to the
Gundor.
YouTube server. It is
Gundor
time.
calls for aid, and DefinePride will answer. Like,
But yeah, so then when Matt woke up, I think we had some quick food, and then it was like we wanted to play some Soul Calibur. So we set
Trying
up the
to talk
stream. We turned on the stream. 3/4 of our Discord bitched and complained that it was during work hours. Whatever, dudes. I was on 5 days off. Like, I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
So we were playing some of that, and then we played some verses.
Whoa! Oh, okay. Sorry.
We,
Never mind,
like
go
we were
ahead.
doing the single player story campaign, like
Yeah.
passing the controller back
Yeah,
and forth, and then we went to some verses after that, like warm up.
Yeah.
What did we do verses first? I can't
The
remember.
first day we did versus first.
Oh right, first day we did versus first, and I'll just have to say it now because Matt will definitely bring it up.
That's what I'm making sure.
He won the first match.
I almost
And-
fucking drove back right after that. I was like, fuck, this ain't worth my time. This ain't worth my time.
I was like, oh fuck. So I was like, did I really let that happen? I mean, I think Matt won the first match, and then by the time we were done warming up, it was like 12-1, was it, or was it 12-2? Did you win a second one after that before we went?
Yes, like the second day? Or is that what
The
you mean?
first
Or,
day.
like, the first day? I think
No,
the
I think it
total
ended
was-
12-1.
No,
think
I
it
don't
ended
think so.
12-1.
Because no, because you told me that I did 4 times better than Julian?
Julian on his first day.
Yeah.
On his first back, yeah.
So it must have been like 5-12. Because you said he
Oh, yeah. Okay.
would have been like 5 or 6. I didn't do so hot the second day.
I think it was
but-
like 8-4, and I said you did 4 times better than Julian because I took Julian 8-1
Yeah.
on the first day.
I was like,
then-
I'll take it. I've never really played Soul Calibur. Like,
I've only played it now like 3 hours longer than you have in the last 8 years. So
yeah, but what about your history hours?
yeah, history hours is definitely pretty high.
It's not
So
even
then we were doing some
comparable.
streaming, and then we were like, okay, we had it all in the books. We had beer cold in the fridge, and we were like, look, Matt's girlfriend's job just happened to send her to Calgary the same week Matt was here.
Yep.
And so we were like, I have to go pick up my wife from the bus stop, and then we're going to go have dinner with Yulia. Then we're going to come back by like 7:30 the latest, and we're going to do a boneless stream. We went up for Korean barbecue, and we got back. I think we were like driving Yulia back.
We
Kimi
wanted to
was
see the lights, yeah.
The Aurora Borealis was like announced as being a potential that night, and so we were like, fuck it, let's drive to Banff at like 9:30 at night. We like drive for like half an hour, and then it was like, oh no, wait, it's just straight clouds and like snowing over there. We're not gonna see anything. Turn around.
Oh,
And then
no.
we dropped Yulia. We got back at like 11 practically.
Yeah.
And again, it was like 11 o'clock. I've been driving now for like 2 hours because it just so happens that, yes, Yulia's in town, but she's on the other fucking end of Calgary.
It was
That's
funny.
an hour fucking drive
When
from where I live.
When Yulia, I texted Yulia, I was like, hey, babe, what's your address so we can see how far you are? And she was like, okay, and she sent it to us, so I punched it into Google Maps. Now, Brian lives on the south side. I don't know if you want to...
Outside.
I was to say, if Brian wants to bleep this out, he can. And Yulia lived on the
Understand.
north side. Not only that, but Brian's southeast, and Yulia was northwest. The two places, literally opposite ends of Calgary. There could not be farther apart.
Oh no.
It was hilarious.
I mean, from the south, I could literally drive to like, what's the city down in the south? Like past Okotoks. Anyway.
Okay.
There's like, I could go to a whole different fucking city
Yeah.
quicker than I could get to Yulia on the other end of the same fucking city. But either way,
Fernie,
we did all
Fernie.
that driving.
You could get to Fernie faster.
Something like that, yeah.
I
so
know.
it was just like...
Because I went through it.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, we get back at like 11 o'clock at night, and all the whammies are like, where's the boneless stream? And we're like, that didn't work like we thought.
Our response was,
fucking
hey
evil
man,
plan,
Korean
dude.
barbecue was delicious.
Korean barbecue was delicious.
Oh no.
So the next day, again, we were like, all right, we're gonna stream again. So we streamed again. We've streamed some more Soul Calibur.
That was fun.
That was fun. Now we're both a little bit more warmed up. Did we do the single player? We did a little bit of single player.
We did.
And then
We only did single player, and then later we did versus after that.
Yeah, we did some verses, and I was now finally starting to kind of get into my groove. My muscle memory was now at that state of coming back, and I was a little bit ruthless. And
I gotta learn somehow.
I'm also I told the story about how I never let my wife win anything, and she has to earn it. That kind of just goes for everybody. Partly because I'm not good at like holding back. I'm like 100% or nothing. And
I was only using 10% of my power.
I should have been that way. I let James win one duel like 3 years ago. I've never beat him since.
You got cocky,
yeah.
No, I can only. Here's what would happen though. Every time we play, I would win the first 2 rounds. You can check the stream. It happened all the fucking time. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. Like obviously, yeah, it would happen a lot. I'd win the first 2 rounds because Soul Calibur is in a first to 3 wins system, not best 2 out of 3, like Street Fighter and other games. So I was Nightmare and he was Siegfried. This was the best example of this. The whole stream was cheering for me. They're like, "You got this, Matt," because this is Ken Ryu, basically, right? Like Siegfried. Nightmare.
And I've been winning consistently all night because I've got way more experience. Yeah.
So we're fighting, and I have the first 2 up. And then Brian was like, it's almost like Brian went, "I am not fucking losing. Fuck this. This is fucking stupid. Fuck everything." And he just whooped my. I was like, "Fucking god! I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. Like I did it. I did my best."
It's funny you said that because I was talking to Akimi about that today. Literally as we were driving out to pick up Julian.
That was the most memorable.
And
part.
I was like, yeah, I was playing with Matt, and I'd spent the first 2 rounds trying to remember the moves. Matt would kick my ass, and I'd be like, "I'm not fucking losing this." That's exactly what I said. So when you said, "I'm not fucking losing this," I was like, I word for word said that to my wife today. And then I would be like, whatever, now I'm playing to win. And then I would take the 3 rounds, and I'd be like, I remember this like one cheesy move. What was it? And I'm like trying to spam it and like every time I played Keelik or Sung Mina, all I was trying to do was do the like smack the legs apart and then smack you in the nuts move. And I was like, look, I'm just trying to smack Matt in the nuts. And then he'd take the first 2 rounds and be like, okay, now I'm just gonna win. And then I would play to win after spending the first 2 rounds literally only trying to nut tap him with the weapon. But that was fun playing on stream. I also learned like during that, I really, really enjoy streaming when I have like a second person with me, someone I can talk with. And I learned when I was trying to do it with, even back in the day with Smite and with God of War, I fucking hate streaming when it's just me and I'm narrating by myself. I can't do it. And so I think I want to actively stream more, but I'm going to stream with like somebody like either Julian in the house or with like Matt or Flint or someone in the call. I also plan on streaming a lot of Soul Calibur, but you know, like I don't know how much solo.
We'll stream that in the lab, dude. We'll be running sets in the lab for sure. Because I gotta say, Whammies, I am now a Soul Calibur fan. I'm learning the strats. I'm playing the game. I'm watching videos for a game. I'm watching videos on Soul Calibur 3, a game that's fucking 10 years old. I'm fucking learning the meta. And I'm like, oh, that's why this character is so good. I got 3 characters. Brian knows this. I got Nightmare, who I just feel like I want to learn because he's a staple. He's going to be in most games, and he's really fun. I got Raphael, who could be my main.
Raphael long range is so good.
Brian even noted this. He's like, your zoning ability is fucking unreal. And that's probably from a lot of Street Fighter. Because that's the key, I think, in Street Fighter is zoning ability. So Raphael is a pocket, and of course, where would I be without my boy Lizard Man? Where would I be without Lizard Man?
Sad in Soul Calibur 6, basically.
Yeah, well,
The
you can make a
gods are
lizard
Illa.
person. Dude. That's both.
Fair.
Dude, no, dude. Let's never forget that it took Namco 5 fucking games to give Lizard Man a name. Let's just, like, pour one out for our boy, you know? He was Lizard Man right up until...
Aeon Calcos, eh?
Yeah, dude, Aeon Calcos. They gave him fucking 5 games later, Soul Calibur 5, they gave him a name. It's like...
Actually, technically, Soul Calibur 5 is the 6th game, but...
There you go. Oh, yeah, Soul Blade. So it's 6 fucking games. Was he in that one? Ah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He still didn't have a name in it either way.
That's right. He didn't have a name. He didn't have a name.
Yeah.
Namco's ruthless.
Or
So-
for the homie.
Let me think. I guess I'll finish up the week. Basically, I showed up into Calgary, and I gotta say, Brian's not here to hear this, but Brian lives in the whitest fucking neighborhood I have ever. Like, look, as someone who grew up from the streets.
Brian's gonna see that. Brian's gonna see that in editing and be like, God damn it!
As someone who grew up from the streets,
Oh.
Brian lives south end of Calgary, where it's just like house areas. What are they? Suburb. It's just
Suburbs.
suburb after suburb after suburb, and I'm going like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And there's like 30 kilometers, children present, and fucking like, I'm like, damn, dude. All white dudes, all working in the oil field. I'm going, are you fucking for real?
How
right
many
now?
sweater vests did you see per average, Matt? How many sweater vests?
Well, it was cold, but people were wearing sweaters, but they were wearing big coats. You know what I mean? With their white girls. So it's hard to tell. The toques, because Canada. But, like,
Yeah.
their girls were just, like, this, like, typical white girl. Like, I'm, like, Starbucks in hand, and the guy was
Pumpkin
just like,
spice
oh, yes,
season.
oh, yes, honey, yep. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking at fucking my GPS. I'm like, all right, Brian lives pretty close in this neighborhood, whatever. I fucking pull up. I'm like, for real, homie? This is just straight up. And I park in there, and he lives in like a cul-de-sac of houses, but it's just a house neighbor. It's the fucking Calgary's a weird place, man. It's a
Calgary
up.
sounds like the fucking most wild ass place to people like Ontario. I'm like, what are you guys arguing about? I'm like looking at it over like on the news, like, what are you?
Yep. Calgary's weird, man. It's a weird place.
I guess
I don't
can't,
like it.
I can't talk shit because fucking Ontario is wild as fuck right now. But
It's true, man. It's true, straight. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't fit in. I got looked at like an outsider. I felt on edge. It ain't nothing but a thing. I'm used to it.
dude, when you're a half orc, it's hard, man.
Wait, I'm a half orc? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Brian's gonna listen to this. He's absolutely cutting it, by the way. I'm calling it now.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it now.
So like I was saying, Calgary is a wonderful place. There's definitely nothing wrong.
What did you say behind my back when I was
He
taking
hates
a
the
shit?
Stampede. I'm gonna just call him
I
out
never
right now.
said
He
that. I never
hates the
said
fucking
that.
Oh, that's
Stampede.
fine.
I never said that. I
Hates
actually
it.
didn't
Look,
say
I've
that.
only been
So
in
it
the
works
Stampede
out.
twice. I got wasted and then came home and didn't actually check anything out except the fuck they call it, the drink tent or whatever. Fuck. There's like a name for it in those events, but
Beer garden.
that's the one.
Nailed it. Right. So yeah, I played a lot of Soul Calibur, which is great because, like I said, hitting the lab was a lot of fun with Brian. Kind of got to see what the game was more about compared to other fighters that I used to play a lot of. So I'm not saying I'm on the Soul Calibur 6 bandwagon, but I definitely went home and bought a PlayStation 2 and Soul Calibur 3 to practice. I'll be using my Xbox 360 and PC stick. I just modded it so it works on PlayStation 2s. So if I stream it, that's what I'm using, just so you know.
Yeah, same with mine. Yeah.
Yeah, overall, my trip was fun. It was cool to meet Brian in person again, because it's our second time, which is a weird thing to think about.
We met playing Smite. It's the second time we've hung out in person.
Yeah, in person. I'm talking IRL, yeah. So it was really cool. And you got to meet Yulia, which was pretty fun. Oh, you forgot to call me a rookie punk, dude. By the way.
Oh yeah, we were going out somewhere. I can't remember
Korean
what
barbecue.
we were doing.
That was Korean barbecue.
I think it was when we were heading out past, like after the Korean barbecue, and we were talking about going and chasing the Aurora Borealis.
Maybe.
And I can't remember what the conversation was about, and Yulia just stopped, laughed, just, yeah, that's because Matt's a rookie punk.
Dude, oh no. You can't come back, Matt. You gotta move. That's it.
Ruthless.
You gotta go.
Even whoa, dude! If DefinePride's saying it's ruthless, this must be worse than I thought.
That's it. That's that. Like you can't recover from that. That's
Rookie
worse than
punk,
Eminem's
man,
diss
man.
on Machine Gun Kelly. You're done.
Yo,
That's it, it's
come on.
over.
Hey, hey.
It's over.
Yo,
It's
cut the
over.
stream. Cut the stream. Cut it.
It's over, man.
I know
I'm sorry.
We're getting topical.
That's some kill.
Rookie
That's some
punk,
kill
dude.
shot material right there. You're done.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. Yulia's a shooter. Shooter's gonna shoot.
The rookie punk, man.
I was surprised. I thought Brian would bring it up, so I just.
I forgot actually.
Yulia
entirely.
told me that I had to make sure you bring it up because she thought it was hilarious, and I'm not gonna lie.
It is, man.
I was driving at work today, and I was operating a forklift, and I was laughing. I was just like, fucking rookie punk, man. I got fucking like, that's awesome. I just think it's hilarious.
Got done dirty. That's it.
Yeah, dude. I think this is the longest games this week in a long fucking time, man. This is an hour
it was
long.
kind of an interesting week. Like, you came out. I mean, the original plan for when you came out was like, let's show Flint the mountains, and then it just poured rain like the whole time Matt was here. So
It's fine. Flint didn't show up.
Listen, man,
I will not tolerate ghosting. I will not tolerate flakes. Listen.
That's just a real nice sweater. Don't look at it. I'm gone. I'm out of here. That's harder. I've been working on that all day. I'm very, very sore. Here. Man, next year.
Beer.
Next year, I'll fucking. Matt was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Japan?" And I was like, "Yeah." I booked it, and then I was like, "I gotta book Brian's thing," and then I went to book it, and my boss was like, "No." Yeah. Like, but no. I wanted to go to the mountains, fucking hike around. I was gonna like drive to Hamilton, take a cheap ass plane, probably die on the way there, but it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
We'll do
That's
it next
about
year.
right.
We'll do it next year.
It'll
We'll invite
happen.
Bryce too. We'll drag him out hiking.
Yeah. I feel like we gotta go down to Texas too.
Well, we're not going to. We're going to Texas next year to see. Well, fucking DefinePride. You might as well be invited as well. Well, you might as well
come to Texas.
with
If
us.
you're going to Texas, I can make a drive.
Hell yeah, dude.
What part of Texas though? Texas is pretty big.
No fucking idea, to be honest. with you.
Dallas, I think.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
San Antonio.
Population Bryce. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
dude.
all we know.
But like actually Dallas.
Oh,
You think it's Dallas?
He
No,
said it
I-
on the
I-
podcast.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Like, he might have. Dude, he could have fucking said like.
I'm 95% certain it's Dallas.
He could have said Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. I still wouldn't remember. You know what I mean? Like.
I've had conversations with him about it otherwise too. Pretty confident it's Dallas.
Okay. All right. Well, Dallas, hit us up.
I mean, that's a
DefinePride.
city of what, like 2 million people or something. So I mean, it's not like we've just given out his home address. It's like,
Yeah, I don't think he would give a fuck, to be honest.
He'd throw hands. He'd be like, "Which one of you noob idiots coming to my house?" And you'd
That's
walk
right,
into
dude.
the
I'm watching
the door.
cartoons.
He'd try and like walk in the door.
He'd
it
be
would
like-
just- the lights would be off. He'd be like, "Yo!" Just take you out. You're
It's
done.
yo technique, dude. Yo technique.
Yo jutsu.
Yo jutsu, dude. All right. We're going all over the place. What's the plan? What are we talking about right now? Are we gonna talk about the doctor for a bit?
How about the doc?
I mean, we can. I just don't know what much more to say other than don't be a fucking crazy lunatic and shoot
Well,
at
maybe-
people's houses.
Maybe we should just say that then. Hey, I don't know if you've heard or not, but Dr. Disrespect, like I said before, a famous streamer, gets about 20,000 to 30,000 people a night, probably. Someone shot at his house while he was streaming, and he cut the stream, took off his wig, so he was out of character, and was like, what the fuck? That's like what he was so shocked. He was in shock for sure. Just a public service announcement. What the fuck is wrong with you if you would ever think to do something like that?
Yeah. No, don't be an asshole. That's.
Like, what do they think that shit's funny? Like, is it like swatting where they think it's funny?
Yeah, swatting is fucking. Oh my god.
This shit
Swatting's another complete level.
Oh,
You can go to you can go to prison for that now. Thank God. Thank God
Good.
they made it that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put away like a 17-year-old kid or something, didn't they? They tried him
Good.
with an
Yeah.
adult for it.
They
Yeah,
should.
Yeah.
States.
Well, like the amount of resources that takes to get a fucking van of guys together, geared up, fucking juiced out, ready to rip, and then it's just like,
And then the damage done to
yeah, they
the
break
house
down
they
someone's
go in.
door, and there's no crime being committed at all.
There's no.
I think
Meth
somebody
head.
People have
from
died.
one of
People
that,
have
too.
died from
Yeah.
a SWAT. Yeah, some guy got shot for.
'Cause he
they
panicked. They
thought
Go
he
in
had a
like it's a high
hostage.
tense situation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are swatting. Isn't just like, oh, your police officer who pulls you over for speeding and he's like, hey man, don't speed. This is swatting is like, especially in the United States, like coming from three
They're
Canadians.
juiced up. Yeah,
These guys are like, they're like we're going in there to save people, and we're gonna fucking shoot the bad guy. Crime stops now. I've seen every episode of CSI. I'm going in there. That's what they're thinking.
Basically, militarized police just coming into your house, being like, all right, we got
Basically,
a call.
head to toe body armor. Like and you know what? God bless them for doing that, because someone's got to do that job. But
Yeah.
when the situation isn't what they think it is, that's a wild card in the deck, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, that changes the rules. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's a +4 card in Uno. That's a do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to jail.
And it should be.
And then until recently, like, people blame the streamer. It's like, well, you
Yeah.
shouldn't
Why
you shouldn't
would
let
we
people
ever
know where
blame
you
the
are. It's like
streamer?
most of the time we don't. They just they just find out, and then they fuck you up.
It's true, man. It's like DefinePride always says on his stream. Gamers are the most... sorry, the words aren't coming to me. Repressed group in America. Fact. That's a DefinePride quote. You can go to his stream.
I think I've heard him
It's
say
like-
that at least like 3 times. Yeah.
Find
listen.
the
And I'll quote myself. That's right. You think about American history. You think of the Irish. You think of the Jews. You think of slavery. And then think of those Dota players, man. Like, it's not even
Dota-
comparable.
No, the Russian Dota players.
That's right, dude. It's... ugh.
But
I don't know,
that
man.
whole
That's,
thing though, where you guys were talking about blaming the streamer, and it's like it goes down with the rest of like other media things or streamer stuff, or if you're a female streamer, and it's just like, look, I mean, even we've had that conversation. It's like if you go on YouTube, you have to have a thick skin, and then you realize about how fucked up that realization is. That it's just like, look, if you're gonna do anything like that, where you're gonna broadcast and put yourself out there, you just have to be ready for just like the most vile hatred shit thrown your way.
Yeah.
And like, you're not allowed to be bothered by it. Any streamer or anybody who's ever called out on it is going to get more of it. You just have to sit there and take that horseshit in silence. Like, we never had a big enough audience for it to really get anything super negative. But like, when you see, especially the female streamers, man, it's like you're just expected now to
Female
take that
streamers have it rough.
horseshit. You're just expected to take that like constant sexual harassment. You know, and it's like, you know, it's why. Like, why, you know, and then the people that might be like, well, that's just the life you live, Dr. Disrespect. It's like, no.
No
Like,
one should be shot at,
I think
bro.
at some point we have to stop, like, you know, accepting that this is a part of media and just being like, no, this is, like, fucking not okay. Like, all of
Yeah.
it. And I think it, like, I'm going to go down right into, like, fucking engineering oil sand shit, but they say, like, for every 600 near misses, you're going to have a serious incident. That's, like, a safety statistic.
I've
It's
heard
like
that
every,
statistic.
or it's like every 600 you're gonna have like a serious injury, or even it's like they get upwards 2,000 near misses. You're guaranteed, you know, statistically you're gonna have a fatality. Like they kind of break down some of these safety statistics in the workplace like that. I'm sure there's like work safe stuff in America that's similar to some of these models are across both, but I work in a very safety conscious industry, and it's like it's that same thing. It's like every 600, you know. Harassers, there's going to be one person that or 600 people that find it okay to call the streamer ugly and judge her entirely by her whatever, you know. At what point, like every 2,000, 3,000, you're going to have a fucking lunatic. And it's like, well, maybe you treat it like the safety industry and you eliminate those 600 and then you don't have those other one-odd cases. Like, as much as some people think that, oh, well, you know, that one person's still always going to be crazy. But at the same time, I think if the entire culture leads to it less and pushes towards it less,
If we
you're
look
gonna
down upon
reduce-
it instead of celebrate it.
yeah,
Instead of typing LOL Kappa in the chat or whatever.
or savage, you know, it's like
What, is that a call out? Did you just call out DefinePride?
no. Ruthless is different than savage, dog.
Ruthless. All right. No, I'm just making sure.
but you know what I mean? Like if you reduce that entire culture so that even those like smaller, you know, near misses, just the insulting dicks is like less acceptable within the entire gaming community, some of those extremes will feel less.
How I feel like realistically, how it's always going to be is as long as there's anonymity on the internet, there's always going to be toxicity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's still there, but I think there's still ways you can combat the toxicity.
Yeah, you can definitely combat it, but it's never. It's like
It's
you
one
can.
of those things though where I think it comes down to like people always point to the streamer and they talk about managing it or pointing it to the mods and like removing it. And it's like that plays a role. But again, I'm throwing back the safety culture of like oil sands, where they go, look, you can have 100 regulations in place, but if people don't follow it, or you have to have that culture of it, you have to change the culture, you have to change the mindset, you have to have a much larger initiative and sign everybody up on board. I think saying that with anonymity you're going to bring that in anyway, it's like, well, people said the same thing about safety incidents. It's like, look, people are always going to get hurt, and it's like, well, how do you get them past that? You have to then change the culture. You're only going to get so far with regulations, and, you know, like regulations and rules are kind of just like stream rules and modders, right? Like, you're only going to get so far with that. You have to change the culture.
Yeah, the what's difficult about changing entire culture is that you would have to get everybody. And like everybody to get that same mindset of, all right, well, this needs to stop.
But it's a snowball thing.
Because if
you can get enough people serious about it, then it becomes, it's like, oh, okay, it then can spread. You know, it's like, if you have if you get 51%, then the majority have changed the culture, and now the minority can feel like, oh, maybe this isn't acceptable. You need 51%.
Yeah, the thing is, like,
and I feel like that's what everything.
It sounds like witch hunting, but you need people to say, "Hey, man, that's not cool. Don't do that." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like, trolls don't care. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I say it, but I do agree with DefinePride that there is going to be some like anonymity won't like ever.
And even with that, even if everyone did have the mindset, like, yeah, that's actually not cool. There's like people that are sarcastic too. Like, they don't actually mean what they're saying.
I've never me.
Can't really.
Like, I feel like I'm sarcastic a lot. Like, I'm not. I don't actually like when I'm BMing something, I don't actually mean it. But then there's some people that are like being a dick, and it's like, well, all right, if that's how you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's just
I don't know, man. It's
some people just don't have boundaries, and that's a big issue that should be dealt with.
Yeah, that's, as a very PC conscientious person, I agree. People have boundaries.
Respect them.
And you need to respect
Hillary Clinton.
You need to. Oh shit.
One thing I've learned when you hang out with Matt is the difference. Sometimes, see, Matt always jokes that he's like, there's Matt on the mic and there's Matt off the mic. Except the mic is also every time he's in just Discord calls and hanging out with the boys online. There's Matt off the computer, and then there's Matt on the computer.
Don't you
look,
dare.
man. I grew up in 2006 YouTube, all right? That's the YouTube that raised me. It was a wild, wild west back then, and I still have that mindset, so. Listen. Fuck, now I feel like I have to address it in case I do get picked up by Philly D. I don't care. It's a joke. Relax. It's all in fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't mean it. But
yeah, it's all.
I'm playing a character that doesn't care. It's all it is. It's meta. I'm in your head. I'm mind fucking you right now.
I am the Matrix. I am the deep state.
My character goes so deep that my sarcasm's truthful sarcasm.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think it took me 6 months of friendship with Matt to actually have a conversation with him where a single sentence wasn't sarcastic.
It's true. I used to, especially when we played Smite. I think what did I used to always say? This guy's a fucking genius, isn't he? Jesus, look at the build on this guy. What's his fucking name? I used to always call people out by their names. Eagles fan, fuck you. Well, okay, I mean that's all we really need to talk about on this Twitch thing. Well, we're gonna talk about beer stories.
I was like, look, we need a topic because I wasn't sure how long we'd go on games this week and if it could carry a whole episode.
Games this week carried a whole episode.
Games this week carried a whole episode. Dudes, play Spider-Man if you got it. Although, honest to God, like actually after having platinumed it, pick it up on sale because it's not that long. I don't think it was actually worth $80 for the amount of time I got into it. Personally, well, $80 Canadian, so there's still $60 American. But I don't think it was worth the $80. For like, if I didn't do 100% completion and just powered through the story, it's like a fucking 13-hour campaign. Like, I swear to God, like it's short.
Jeez.
That's my one complaint. If I can platinum it in 3 days, in like 40 hours, and like there's so much side content you don't have to do, and when I think about what was actually involved in the story, it's a super short campaign. It's a very enjoyable game. The swinging is refined, and it only felt fuckery a couple of times, although my one big complaint is you stick to the fucking wall. Sometimes you swing and you just stick to it, and you're fucking hitting every button on your controller. Spider-Man's just like, no, I'm not letting go of this fucking wall. Like, you're double tapping X, and like you just have to get to a very specific camera turn.
Well, you don't think Spider-Man doesn't get vertigo? Of course he's just gonna stick, dude. He's gonna be like, I don't want to look down. Ah.
But
God damn,
I actually
you expect too much of people.
I think it's a fantastic pickup for when everybody else has played it. The game drops down to like $40.
$40. Good to know.
I think full price, it's not enough content. But anyway, that was a second rant I meant to say before. Now we can finish games this week and the other chat. So then we were like, okay, look, what else can we talk about? And so we wanted to periodically throw like stories from life. We could talk about games, but this is also a bit of like social commentary or life stories. And so I was like, what's a story that we can all relate to, right? That's one of the ones that, it's like, what do you talk about? And I said, hey, what about the first time you were drinking? Like, what's the story? Like, was it memorable, or maybe it's funny about how unmemorable it was? But tell us about, and this is between the four of us online. Tell us about the first time you're drinking. The first time you ever had a drink.
Okay, I'll go last.
I think we're past the years of statute of limitations, so we're all underage. Whatever.
Yeah, DefinePride just had his first beer like 3 months ago.
I actually remember the first time I got drunk, and it came to me like during the podcast. Little unknown fact: I used to be altar server when I was younger, and when I got confirmed in Christianity, I became an acolyte, which is kind of like a super altar server. It's just some fake title that they give.
Okay, time out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what any of that means.
So basically, I just help around with the church, preparing shit during the mass. Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm a little helper boy.
I didn't want to be like disrespectful,
no.
but I was
I get it.
like seriously, I
No
don't know what that
disrespect.
means. I'm from the streets to find pride. I ain't going to church.
So basically, when you become an acolyte, you help with things that you can't do when you're a kid. Like for an example, you can give them the body or blood of Christ with the wine and shit. And one day, when you clean up, you save the body of Christ, but you drink the blood of you drink what's left, and sometimes the people are serving it will finish it. But one day it was like these old ladies, and they didn't want to finish it, but no one drank any blood, so it was just like 2-3 full wine glasses, and they all gave them to me. So I'm just looking at them like, are you serious? You guys realize what you're doing, right? So I did it. I fucking, in front of everybody, I chugged down 3 wine glasses. And then the rest of the rest of the mass isn't that long, but the rest of it, I'm just fucking blasted on trying to stand, with this just.
The most ruthless competitor in the church community. I'm gonna say it right now.
Just. And I think they knew what they're doing because they started laughing. They're like, one of them, I remember now. One of them like was laughing. They said, "Good luck," handing me. And then after like one of the deacons, which is like a priest junior, is okay. He came up to me and was like, you didn't have to do that. Like you could have just left and we could have dealt with it later. Nah, I bet he was laughing. It was really funny. I couldn't even drive. I obviously couldn't drive back, so my mom had to drove me back home. She's kind of pissed, cause she didn't. I ended up admitting that like I drink. This was like she was not very happy, but it was a funny story.
Should have played the literal card. I thought it was the blood of Christ. Yeah, what? Like, I didn't know it was wine.
Powered up, dude.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's my story. It was pretty funny to be.
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually a pretty funny first drug story.
Yeah.
Because it's innocent. Like, it sounds like something your brother would do. It's so wholesome. Like, honestly.
It's pretty funny being blasted drunk in front of your entire church community. They're all watching you like, oh god.
Next week
it was too obvious.
Next week you show up, they're all like, "Are you okay? Do you need some help? Like, how's your home life?" And you're like, "Fine." Like,
I'm just glad I didn't
good.
do anything embarrassing, like stand on the table and start singing or something. Sing a Sweet Home Alabama.
That's the classic Christian tune, Sweet Home Alabama. All right, Brian.
Roads.
Yeah, take me home, West Virginia. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I know I'm actually going to tell two different parts of it because they were both in grade 12, and I actually got stoned, but not on marijuana, before I ever actually got drunk. But it was like medically given pills. So I remember I was in grade 12, and I was very much like, I wasn't so much like I was anti-alcohol. I just had absolutely zero interest. I was also an introvert that spent a lot of time playing games at home, and I was constantly invited to parties, and I'd just be like, I'd either turn them down in lieu of playing Diablo with some of my friends online, or I would go and just not drink because I had zero interest, or I would just drive myself and not be like ready to drive myself home.
Yeah.
And my parents were always pretty like okay with me having drinks, and they'd be like, "Look, do you want to go and like get drunk and like you can call me for a ride? Like it's okay." I was in grade 12, whatever. And I just like as an individual, I just had zero interest in doing it. And I remember because this was actually like 2 months before I went and had my first drink. And it was in grade 12, and I had a dental surgery coming up that gave me unbearable anxiety. And I was fucking terrified of this surgery. So the doctor, because I'd had to go to the dentist a few times before that, knew how badly I freaked out during the freezing. And he was done with it. And he knew he had to do this thing, so he prescribed me a bunch of Valium. And my mom was a nurse, or is a nurse, assuming she's still a nurse. She looked at the doses. She literally like, holy fuck! Like, this guy does not trust you to not lose your fucking mind. And it was apparently a heavy dose. And you have to remember, like, I'm a big man now, but I was 130 pounds in grade 12, 6'2", broad shoulders. I mean, you could see like the veins in my arms or like the bones on my you could see my rib cage. You could see my diaphragm expanding without I was skinnier than Matt, like, if that's possible.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Because, like, you're what, like 160? I was 130.
I'm 155.
I was 130 and still bigger than Matt. And so he gave me a hefty dose in my skinny little Twigman body. And he gave me 2 doses. He gave me Valium to take the day before because they wanted to see how I'd react on it before I went to the operation. And so I literally just stayed home from school, popped a bunch of Valium, and got stoned out of my mind. And I was like, I was a little less, I don't really get why people chase highs. Maybe it's because it was medical Valium and I was whatever. But I remember my friends calling me from school. And they were just so intrigued, right? Like, the one kid in school who doesn't drink or doesn't do any drugs, has never done anything, stayed home at school to get high on medical Valium. So they were all like calling me and like wanted to come check me out at the house. And they literally like came to the house and I was like ballerina dancing in the living room.
Oh god.
And they were like, "All right, Brian's high."
Brian's on Jupiter, man.
I was on fucking Jupiter. So then when it came to actual alcohol, which came like 2 or 3 months later, during grad night, my dad literally called me a pussy when I came home sober on grad night. Like, literally. He's like, "What are you?" Anyway. And
Oh no.
and he was like he was offering to drive, and he was like kind of disappointed in me. I didn't have any. And then I was like, well, I had plans. Me and a friend who weren't able to go. He wasn't able to go to the grad party that I went to. Scheduled for the week after, we were gonna drink for our celebration for grad. And so I was 17. Legal age in BC is 19. So I was, only like a year away. And I was like, all right, like, let's try it. I'm going to drink for my first time. And, like, at this point, I've got my expectations set, like, way too high. I've seen the stupidity people do when they're drunk, right? Yeah. Especially at that time. And, like, I had the romanticized versions on TV, but, like, I didn't know what to expect. And it's probably not any surprise to anybody that I, like, way over fucking thought it. Like, way overanalyzed.
No.
Way overthought. No.
That doesn't happen.
So, we're doing these drinks, and I was like, look, like, they said vodka was fairly easy to start with. Some vodka mix. And the fucking idiot bought watermelon vodka, which I think I've straight up said in the podcast before that I hate watermelon. And the only thing worse than watermelon is that fake, like, pretending to be watermelon flavoring. And, so we ended up having to go get something else before we even started the night, which consisted of, like, calling his mom to go buy us alcohol, and they were, like, totally okay with it.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm taking the drinks, but, like, what I remember about it was funny was I was, like, trying to test my limitations and, like, test how it would affect me, and I would take a couple of more drinks, and I was like, I just assumed I would become stupid. So I was like, can I still do math? Give me a math problem. And, like, he'd just throw me some, like, calculus from class or whatever. And I'm like, I can still fucking solve this. This isn't doing anything to me. Or I'd be, like, walking around trying to, like, balance on one foot. And I swear to God, I don't actually, now that I've actually drank a little more regularly, 12 years later, I know that, like, I really wasn't that drunk. But I thought I was fucking wasted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a huge factor.
I was like, I thought I was so wasted because I drank the alcohol, And I was like, I'm not losing balance. I can still balance on one leg. And I think for the most part, I was just a sober idiot thinking that, like, I was drunker than I was for the majority of it.
Absolutely.
And then I just got paranoid. I was like, I'm going to be so hungover and I'm going to throw up all day tomorrow. Like, all the TV's worst, like, hangover stuff. And I woke up, like, fine because I think I only had, like, 3 shots, like, the whole night. But way overanalyzed it, way overthought it. And, yeah.
All right, Flint, what do
First
you
time
got?
I got drunk. Absolutely, I was overage. I just want to put that out right now. TM. In a friend's basement, our parents had went away for the weekend, and we thought, you know what, this is the perfect time. This is our moment. We're never gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen again, since we're overage and everything. And we get down in there. And the way the house was set up was you could get into the room, like the bedroom, where there was like a TV, an entertainment station, and our alcohol. But there was no food. You couldn't get into the kitchen. Everything was locked up. We didn't have any food. We didn't have anything to mix the alcohol with, except whatever we could, like, scrounge about in the shitty freezer in the side of this, like, basement bedroom area. But we're like, no, it's time. We're getting drunk. So we had our bottle of vodka. We had the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Thought we're going to play a drinking game, Lord of the Rings drinking game. Don't ever do that. It's a horrible idea. It never turns out well. You never make it past, like... What's long?
Those are some long films.
Yeah, those long films. You never make it past the first one. I don't remember Two Towers. I don't remember the fucking Return of the King. I made it halfway
every time
through
Gandalf
Fellowship.
squints his eyes.
Yeah, it was like every time Frodo puts the ring on. Do you know how many times Frodo puts on that fucking ring, dude? Too many. Dude's on and off, on and off. He's like...
Off the top of my head,
He's like a man at the club with a failed marriage. He's just fucking pulling that shit on, putting it on.
You
know what I'm saying? You know what? It's rough, okay? So, the problem is we just have vodka in cups. I think it was like vodka and whiskey. And when you're younger, but still overage, Ontario government, you don't really have a taste for that kind of stuff yet, so you're looking to mix, right? Except we didn't have anything to mix with because there was no soft drinks, there was nothing. All the stores were closed. We were like, all right. We raid the freezer. The only thing we can find is frozen raspberries. Okay. That'll work, right? Sure. So we drop the raspberries in our cups, and we let them sit for like 20 minutes or whatever. Oh. Boys, don't do that. Okay, because you drink the cup, and it's still vodka. Like, it doesn't dilute it really at all. Maybe a little bit. There's a little bit of frost on the raspberry or something, right? But what happens is the raspberries they're absorbent. They fucking absorb as much liquor as they can get in those little fucking raspberry pods or whatever. So you take a drink, you get a raspberry in your mouth, and you bite down, and it was just this explosion of just like hard alcohol in the back of your mouth. It was like, every single time. We got fucked up, obviously. Like, I don't remember much of the night. Like I said, past Fellowship of the Ring, I maybe got to like where they were getting chased by the Nazguls, which I think is like what? After that, gone. I don't know. But it was just our dumbasses not being like, we're just like, we're gonna drink. Okay. Need like food. And no, we're just gonna drink alcohol. It'll be fine. It wasn't fine. Unprepared
fine.
youths trying alcohol for the first time. Bad idea. Don't put frozen raspberries in. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it taste like raspberries either. Like, it still just tastes like vodka. Rough on these streets. That was my very first time drinking. Since then, I'm a little more
Not much more, but
earned. Hey,
Not
I held it
much.
together at Worlds. I held it down for 24 hours.
yeah.
Changed my
That's
mind.
true. You were the MVP. Dude, we won Worlds. You and me were the last people in the hotel. We were like...
We literally won Worlds. And we cleaned
We were
up.
like...
Clean
Yeah,
up
we
their
did.
shit performance.
We did clean up that
all their
shit.
stuff.
All the bottles and shit. Okay. Alright, strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a story. I told it at Worlds. I told it to Ed, Punk Duck, Soul Double J, Trelly, and Denise, and they all thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. So strap yourselves in. We going down back to Matt's childhood, like I said before, from the streets, because I didn't grow up in the best place. I grew up streets of Duncan. Drunken Duncan is where I'm from. That's where born and raised. That's what it's known as. So, of course, there's 3 key players in this story. Me, but I was basically just the eyes that you guys are going to be watching this story through. I actually didn't do that much in this story. And they have my friend Jared, who almost got a scholarship for the BC Lions, which is the British Columbian football team for the CFL. He's a big kid. He's always been a big kid, and he's a high-performance athlete. You also have... Yes, you have. My fat fuck friend Paul.
This is a good story.
Paul, yeah, Paul is a large dude, and when I say I'm from the streets, Paul is from the streets. Like, straight up the streets. Like, I think he grew up in a cardboard box. But nonetheless, Paul actually lives in a trailer park, and his parents, whatever, I'm not going to get into that, but let's just say he wasn't the most fortunate kid. But I still talk to him. He's a nice guy, but he's also a troublemaker. So he comes to us, he comes to our, like, core group of about 7 kids, and he goes, hey, my parents are out this weekend. Let's all have a big sleepover party from Friday, Saturday, Sunday at my house. And we're all like, yeah, cool, sounds good. And he goes, yeah, Matt, bring your Nintendo 64. Jared, bring your PlayStation. You guys bring this, you bring this. And he said, also, if you can, try to steal some booze. And I was like, what? I'm like 14 at this time, right? Like, the concept of drinking hasn't quite hit me yet. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And he said, don't worry, if you can't take any, my parents' cabinet is unlocked. I was like, huh? What? I just want to play N64, dude, right? Like, Smash Brothers and shit. Anyway, so my parents drop me off. And everyone shows up, everyone's good. Paul's parents aren't there. I think his neighbor was, like, looking after him, or whatever. Like I said, not the best neighborhood. Anyway, so we're playing N64, and he gives me a cup. I don't remember what was in it. This is quite a while ago. I think vodka or rum, doesn't matter. And I'm drinking it. And, okay, this isn't so bad. And we're playing N64. We're having a good time. We're goofing off. Jared, As it turns out, big dude, like Brian, 2 drinks and he's out. He's gone. Like, he was, but he didn't stop at 2 drinks. He just kept going. And he was, and this is like a big kid for 14, like probably 200 pounds, chubby, but also strong football player. And he's knocking over shit, making a huge mess. Everything's like, and everyone, the whole time we're trying to, like, Paul, relax. This is a couple hours in. Like, you know what I mean? This is a couple hours into drinking. And we're like, Paul, you gotta relax. Or sorry, Jared, you gotta relax. Paul's like, fucking Jared, man. He's fucking ruining my house. This is bullshit. So eventually we get Jared to fall asleep. We're like, Jared, pass out for a bit. We gave him some water. We gave him a pan in case he throws up. And we all go outside. And then there's Paul sitting on his deck smoking. He's 14. Fucking Jared, man. This is fucking bullshit. This is so fucking annoying, man. And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there. I'm fucking like this. You have to keep that in mind throughout this whole story. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, man. Jared, he's not holding his alcohol very well. Everyone's like that. So we're a bunch of fucking kids, right? All of a sudden, the sliding door opens to his deck, and there's fucking Jared just standing there. He's hunched over. He's like, I hear you guys talking shit about me. And he stumbles over, and he sits down on the chair. So the way it's set up is, there's Paul, Jared, I'm at the end of the table, and everyone else is sitting around it, okay? So that's why I have such good memory of this, because I had fucking front view of these two. Paul's standing there, blows smoke in his face, throws his cigarette on the ground, and stomps it out with his foot. He was wearing a shoe, probably, because he's 14. But he did this like it was a movie, right? Like, he's like, throws it down, stomps it out, looks at him and says, fuck you, Jared. You're breaking my house. Fuck you. You're a fucking asshole. You need to clean this shit up or go home. Jared says, and he's stumbling. He's like, fucking talking shit about me, man. I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, man. You don't stop. Fucking leave me alone, man. Give me my drink and I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. Paul goes, you're not gonna kick my fucking ass. You're a fucking idiot. Fuck you. Jared goes, alright, I'm not gonna. And I dead ass, DefinePride, look at me in my face. Look into my camera when I fucking say this. This is dead ass true, whammies. Jared goes, you're right, man. I'm not gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up the ass. And he said it, and if you're watching the clip on YouTube, I'm gonna make the face in the camera. He said it like this. Fuck you up the ass.
Dead ass.
Everyone started howling. Except for 3 people. Me, Paul, and Jared. Paul looked at him like... And Jared just kept staring at him. And then... Jared stood up so fast, his chair behind him flew. Like, he legitimately, like... Poof, and his chair just went flying back. And Paul turns around and starts hauling ass. Now... Paul lived on a slope, right? So he had, running downhill. So he's running, right? But of course, like I told you guys at the beginning of the story, Jared, high performance athlete. To this day, he didn't make the team, unfortunately, but he was a fast, big guy. Oh, I should mention this now. Paul, short, fat, stumpy little legs, right? So he's running. Now the problem is, I don't know if the fashion has changed at all, but in the 90s and early 2000s, kids used to wear baggy jeans. So Paul is running, and his jeans are starting to fall down. And Jared is just right behind him. I asked Paul about this years later, and Paul said he could hear Jared's breath, like wet and like panting, like he was so close to him. Because I started running after them because I wanted to see what happened. Everyone else was dying of laughter trying to like run and stop, right? So eventually they're running. Paul's holding his pants with running, and they're running down this hill, and then Paul trips. But as he tripped, Jared kind of caught up to him and grabbed him by his hips. And they're tripped, and so as they're falling together in midair, Paul's pants, they kind of fall down. And Jared's holding him by his hips. This is like midair. They're like at a 90-degree angle, and then they collide on the ground. And Paul's wind is knocked out of him because of Jared's weight behind him as he hit the ground, right? So he's just going, and Jared's on top of him, dry humping him, literally being like, I fucking told you, I fuck you up up the ass. I fucking told you. Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, fuck you up there. And Jared's like, and then eventually something primal awoke. Sorry, Paul's like that. Something primal awoke in Paul. Just straight out of like caveman. He just went, no! And unfortunately, there's not much more of an ending to the story. Jared just kind of stood up and was like, "Yeah, I fucking told you, man. I fucking told you." And like stumbled away. And Paul just laid there, a defeated man. Just.
You can't come back from that. Honestly, you can't.
No,
Like, that's it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Paul ever did.
No, I mean
That changed his whole life. I mean, he's kind of still in the same area, still doing the same thing. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We were always friends, like not like close friends or anything. But that is the first night I ever had drinks, and I haven't stopped since.
That just makes you drink harder, realistically.
Yeah. So, true story.
Yeah, I definitely had heard that story before.
Yeah.
But
It
you know,
gets
it's
better
been,
every
been
time.
a while.
Denise's face when I told that was probably the greatest moment of my life. I wish I could have took a picture of her face. It was so like, and Ed too. Ed loved it. I guess. I mean, community section.
I mean, time to move on to the community
We
section.
got a short community section this week.
I got
Speed
called
limit.
out, said stop giving such difficult community challenges or
Yeah.
unrelatable.
Yeah, I get called out, Brian.
So, new
Fuck
community
you.
challenge
So-
this week. What is your 342nd favorite color? Make it a little easier
What?
this week, all right? What's your 342nd favorite color, dude? Fucking count it out. Let me know. I'm curious.
Here's one for y'all whammies. If
Okay.
you could replay a game for the first time ever, what would it be?
I think we already did that, didn't we?
I don't
Literally
give
did
a
that
fuck.
2 weeks ago, dude.
We literally
Damn
did that like 2 weeks ago.
I forget. I'm terrible
Too
at
late,
this
man.
shit.
That was a good idea.
the stream.
We had it
Cut
2
the
weeks
stream.
ago.
Describe your
We'll
favorite
do this
game
week's
without
first, and then
describing
we'll do
what it-
the
without
next
saying
week's.
what it
I've
is.
got
Okay.
2 written down. I'm good for 2 weeks.
Okay, you good for 2 weeks? All right. Are they?
They're probably
easy,
too hard.
They easy to do.
Yeah.
We got to get a
Yes.
lot of whammy responses. All right, I'm holding you to
Alright,
that.
whammy.
Yes.
All right.
Hey,
Well, we'll
Define
get more
Pride.
whammy responses if we fucking remember to put it in the
Define
announcement
Pride,
channel.
you got to reply
Um,
to this because you won't be here next week. So
All right.
Let us know.
So
Sounds
the
good.
question I wanted to ask was, like, do you have anybody in your life whose dream is to work in gaming, whether it's through Twitch or YouTube, or they want to be some kind of journalist, or they want to be a reviewer? Like, do you have somebody who's pursuing that dream, or like wants to pursue that dream? Like somebody who I was thinking, like, you know, your 12-year-old brother. You know, you're 20, you're out on your own, you know, you're doing whatever, you're paying taxes, and your 12-year-old brother's like, I want to be like Ninja, you know, and like, how does your family react to them like making that their dream? That was kind of like my initial thought behind it, and I think people mistook it as, are you wanting to pursue it? Because I figured almost everybody who's a gamer would actively have somebody that wanted to pursue it as a career. You know, would know somebody they go to school with, or somebody they used to go to school with, or somebody in college who's trying, you know, putting in that grind and hoping for the best. But so we got 2 responses, and they were good responses, and they were both about people like a little bit more in it. And next week's will be a little bit more easygoing, I think, or easier to partake in. So Zelatos says, you know, for his community challenge, do you have anyone whose dream is to pursue pro gaming, streaming / YouTube as a career? He says, have been in the gaming industry for over 10 years, and I have had the opportunity to see a lot of things. Before my wife got sick, I would travel to esports events through the United States on behalf of Esportspedia. I am a former Twitch streamer with over 60,000 views, and have been a community manager for a couple of game companies. It's an amazing experience meeting a lot of awesome developers, content creators like the noobs from SideQuest Arcade, and cool pro players. It requires an incredible amount of organization, network development, and creativity. If you or someone else you know aspires to work in the community, don't ever give up. It's the longevity and doing what you love that will make you successful.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. There's that pursuit, but then there was also what was it? I want to say High Res Kelly, but no, Hello Kelly Link used to be High Res Kelly.
Always be High Res Kelly to me.
Always be High Res Kelly to me. Who says like, well, yes, you can pursue it, but a lot of people have survivor's bias too. But I think a lot of people too are looking to become Ninja, and it's like, well, if Ninja's advice is keep pursuing it, worked great for him. But I like Zealotos's where it's like he's talking a little bit more even on like other parts of it, other career parts. So if you had work experience or degrees or something like that, and you tried to work your way in from those parts, then there's other ways to do it. I think plugging away on Twitch every day, all the time, hoping it'll become your full-time career. I mean, it's kind of like the actors trying to become movie stars in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
There's 10,000 trying and one that's successful.
There's some luck to it.
There's some luck to it for sure, but I like what he was saying with that because he had his Twitch stream and like 60,000 views is not professional, but it's definitely like that's impressive. I think I'm at like 460 different views with all my different streams, so that's really good. And then Kurt Dude, I know Kurt Dude would have a good response for this one, because I know he's got some friends that are in it, so he comments on that.
He was like somewhat, wasn't he? Somewhat pro or something, semi-pro.
Yeah. And then Kurt Dude says, first of all, Madman Matt can suck a toad.
Sounds about right.
I think it's because Matt keeps calling it a party game.
It is.
It's a party when you
Kurt
play
Dude
it.
says,
dude, I'm just stating facts. I don't know.
So Kurt Dude says, I have a close friend that did Smash 4 Pro. Went on a couple of national events while being sponsored. He's dropped it for a while and got serious about cybersecurity. He's also able to get out of the hood and into the suburbs just on his winnings and his sponsorship.
Respect the hustle.
Respect the hustle. I wanted to try and do the stream grind. I was able to get like 15 to 20 people after a while of streaming, but I ended up getting carpal tunnel and quickly had to change my perspective on everything.
Feels bad.
That would suck. But I guess, yeah, if you're doing that many mouse hours, you could.
Oh yeah, it's a big problem. And guys who use sticks for controllers for fighting games, they got wrist problems all the time.
Here's the takeaway I have from this, just as someone who plays Kurt Dude on the regular. How the fuck are you beating my ass in Icons with carpal tunnel? I want a fucking refund. This is bullshit. Got pristine hands. You're fucking over here. Old Mabel fucking arthritis beating my ass. I'm pissed. I'm pissed, Kurt Dude. So mad.
I bet you're getting real good though. When Smash comes out, you're gonna be ready.
I'm actually getting better. I can see myself getting better. But then every once in a while, like I'll beat him convincingly, and he goes, "Okay, no more fucking around." And then he just like 3-stocks me pretty much. I'm like, all right, well.
I can just.
I love Smash. I suck at it, but I love playing it.
That's a little bit like every time Mac got 2 wins or 2 rounds.
Yeah, dude, 2 rounds. Consistently. Check the stream. Lizardman, 2 rounds. Raphael, 2 rounds. Nightmare, 2 rounds. Like, always. It was like,
it hurts.
fuck.
It hurts. You're like,
yeah.
I'm so close. I can taste it.
I'm right there. I'm right there. I wish I played this game when I was a kid.
He only plays, like, a couple characters with me. So those matchups, I'm fucking amazing at. When I go on For Glory or whatever, every other one, I'm like, oh, throw out moves and hope it works. Get people to
spam Falcon Punch. Dude, did we ever talk about my sick Falcon Punch read on you? With, what is it?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
Yeah, dude, I would have fucking uninstalled if I were you. That was the fuck. I lost that match. I didn't give a shit. I was like, doesn't even matter. Dude,
you won that match because I got hit with the Falcon
I lost.
Punch.
I lost the match, but I won the game. Like,
yeah. I can't even remember how you did it, but like I jumped into that. Like you read that fucking jump in and just Falcon Punch me, and I was like, well, I guess I gotta stop playing this game, man. I don't know. Like
it was a jump turnaround too, so it was from behind, right?
Mm-hmm. Remember screaming?
That's a good game, actually. What the fuck is that called?
Icons Combat Arena.
Icons. Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, fun play.
Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, that was the 2 community submissions we had this week. It was just the 2.
Love you, Kurt.
And then you added me and be like, dude, you got to make like more relatable, easy to respond to community challenges. And I'm like, all right. I think these ones, like the one I have for this week will be good. And then so when I spawned the question, it actually came from one of the players I played D&D with. So I'm the second youngest person at the table at 30. So, it's a bit of an older table. But we have the one guy who's like 22 and still in college. And we were talking about something. I can't remember what it was. And he just straight up said, like, he's like, my dream job, he's like, if I could be a famous Twitch streamer, I wouldn't be doing fucking accounting. And I was like, yeah, but I honestly think it would actually suck. Like,
I think so too,
unless you're at the
personally.
point where you could go do anything you want, then maybe it's okay. But if you're a single game streamer, I actually think that sounds miserable because I'll get bored. Like, the fact that I was able to do 14 hours of Spider-Man is unreal to me because I usually get like ADD in like 3 hours and I can't continue playing the same game. Like, I can never do it. The odd game I can, some JRPGs, but like for the most part, I'm like 3 hours, then I need to go take a break, then I can come back.
Well,
and like guys that can just grind Smite all day and yet still not be happy with it. Like the amount of streamers that you can just tell like don't like this game anymore, but it's their fucking income. And you're like to force yourself to do it. And yet like I couldn't fathom it. That'd be the worst job in the world. You can't even quit as easy.
Go through the list, right? Matty Pocket, Mithy Moo, Duke Sloth, like just go through the list,
That just like don't care about Smite. And it's not just Smite. Like Ninja I can tell is getting a little bit burnt out on like some Fortnite. And
Sure.
But then he's also so big he can go do other stuff and it's like, "Oh, I guess you could just make 1 million instead of 3." But and he's like, "No, that'd be my ultimate dream." And I was like, if I was to somehow become like somehow professional in it, it would have to be variety. I mean, I burnt the fuck out in 1 year on Smite so bad I've uninstalled the game and I'm probably never going to play it again. And that was because I forced myself for maybe 3 months when I hit my burnout phase while still doing the podcast with VD2. And like that experience alone, and I was like, no, I never want to become like, I'd never want this for a real job. And we just had this back and forth conversation, and he's just 100%. He's like, I could hate the game, but I'd still do it to become a Twitch streamer. I'd drop everything if I could become a Twitch streamer, but I just don't think that's
Is he grinding? Is he grinding?
He did apparently for like 6 months, and he loved it, but he never got anywhere. I think he did it like between the transition from like high school to university, something like that.
6 months is nothing, man. He's got to do that shit for years.
And Strike Lucky and everything, and I was like, no, it's not for me. And he's like, it's 100% for me. And I thought that contrast was kind of interesting.
If he's 100% for it, though, he should be doing it when he's not at work.
I thought maybe he's only 80% for it, but
Yeah, I'm just saying, it seems like a quitter's attitude to me.
Yeah, like
Fair
like
enough.
I just do it for fun, but I'm streaming almost. I'm either playing when I'm not streaming and streaming when I'm not working, most of the time.
Aren't
just
you like the #1 success on Twitch, DefinePride, or something?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, he beat Dr. Disrespect in the fucking 1995 BlockBuster
Ninja.
World Championship. I saw it.
That's correct. Yep.
I saw it.
Like
honest question.
Ninja who, right?
Honest question, DefinePride. Were you born in 95 or 96?
I was born in 97.
Dude, how the fuck
Cut the
did you
stream.
dunk on Dr. Disrespect 2 years
cut the stream.
before
Hey,
you were born? That's
hey.
so ruthless.
Cut the stream.
So
The
good.
timeline's fucked up.
My
The
mom
timeline's
was still
fucked.
pregnant with me. Came to the BlockBuster Championship. She's like, hold on. There's another player that needs
Medically
to
first 18 months pregnant. Like,
play.
Hey man, DefinePride doesn't make the rules.
I mean, obviously, this is why he's such a ruthless competitor. If his mom had to be 18 plus months pregnant to give birth to him, she's clearly the most ruthless competitor, even more than him. Any woman that can be pregnant for 20 straight months is the most powerful woman on the goddamn planet. Giving birth to
Force
the most
of
ruthless
nature.
competitor.
Dude, your mom could
Zeus
be
ain't got
president.
nothing. Kratos, down.
Actually-
Spider-Man, your mom will stomp all over him. 20 months pregnant, so that you... And somehow still from the womb beating Dr. Disrespect. Like, your mom is really, truly the actual MVP.
Real
the
talk.
lore
My mom
just-
went into labor with me when she was on a hike, and she's like, "No, we got to finish the hike first." Then we'll go to
This is
That,
fucking the most
ladies and gentlemen, that is how champions are made.
That's it. I know this man eats Wheaties now. I believe it.
Can we sign out? Can we sign? I want to end off that.
I
Is
still
there
gotta
anything
do
else?
next week's community challenge.
Well, hurry it up, because that was perfect.
All right, I'm on it. All right. Me and Matt had this conversation while he was down here, and it was I know which one answer I would give, but what game would you love to have like what is your dream game revamp? Flint touched a little bit on like Halo here, but like what game that was really big at some point when you were young do you want to come back? But describe your dream revamp. Like it's not just, this game is back and it's just a remake, like how many times has Sonic like kind of come back but it's never as good and they keep trying. But, like what is your dream game revamp? All right, Matt's eyes are. Anybody watching the video, I'm a little freaked out right now.
I don't know what you mean.
But that's what the music. Words. If I could define pride over here.
Okay. Let's wrap it up with
what
that.
is your
I guess.
dream game revamp?
Do you have one for us there, Define Pride? If you have one now, you could answer it.
Favorite dream?
Like,
Favorite game?
If you could bring back a game from your childhood now, but then
Remade.
like revamp it, into like modern day or some new mechanic or even a different
Grabbed by
genre,
the
but, like,
Ghoulies.
remade?
Grabbed by the Ghoulies. If
Define
anyone's
Pride,
ever played
this is-
that's it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That was a good game.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
I'd love a sequel to that. It'd be an Xbox exclusive, though, because it was made by Rare.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking tight, though, man. Grab by
I'm
the
wishing.
Ghoulies, it was fun. It was like a adventure kind of beat 'em up. You were in the haunted mansion. It was sweet.
Yeah, but you had to follow certain rules. There's like puzzles. If you didn't follow the rules, this Grim Reaper shows up and kills you. But you could run away from him and stuff. Really
Yeah,
fun
it was
game.
really creative, really, I think underappreciated at the time. It didn't get this huge like success, but I think lately people have been like, that was a good game. You know what I mean? Like, they gotta think about it now. Alrighty. With all that being said, thank you so much to Define Pride coming out here. Literally, by the way, Whammy's like 2 seconds, and I called him. I said, "Come on this show," and he was like, "Okay." So,
I can always be the last minute. Don't you worry.
because Bryce was like, "Hey, noob idiots, I'm drinking with my wife," and we were like, "Understandable. Have a nice day." So yeah, thanks a lot, Define Pride. We really appreciate you showing up here, Andrew. Again, his stream and his YouTube channel both will be in the description below. We know a lot of our viewers like Smite. He's definitely a great guy to watch. He's a lot of fun. I'm usually there at his Twitch, so.
Yeah, if you don't click the links, just search Hatmaster's brother. I'll be the first one that pops up.
The first one, probably is too, honestly. Of course, thank you so much, Brian. Nice seeing you last week, IRL. That was really fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Flint, get your bags packed, my boy, because 2 weeks.
You know it, dude. You know it. I'm packed. I'm bringing like 2 shirts.
What are your and Bryce's plan for that whole month?
You guys are only gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. It
So
feels
it's 2
like longer.
episodes.
Oh, I won't be
So-
there for the 3rd week because I have other shit.
Me
but
and
yeah.
Bryce have talked about 2 different ideas.
Oh, okay, we'll save
that
it. We'll
that
save
I
it.
don't really want to say
Yeah,
just
save it.
yet.
Understandable.
Gonna get weird.
I got to do some reaching out because we basically have to have guests because we're down 2 people.
Yeah.
So we got to do some reaching out. But
Flint didn't need a guest when he did the Flint only episode.
Right. Fucking slackers. There's 2 of you. You can do it. You can make a fucking 4-hour episode.
No ghosting, no
Cowards.
flouching, no.
No ghosting. Yo, end it. That's it.
Cut the stream. Thank you so much. Check out the links in the description below. Make sure you hit us up in the Discord, SoundCloud, iTunes. I guess it's all connected through SoundCloud. Make sure you hit us with a 5-star and a like and all that shit. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, MadManMattYT. Follow Flint at MicroManatee. Follow Define Pride at Define Pride. I'm pretty sure. I don't have it off the top of my head. Follow Brian at SQA_Brian. SQA_happiness, sorry. And of course, Big Daddy, who's not with us, Bryce at _Silent Reveries. With all that being said, God bless. Have a good night.
We still got shirts, by the way. Boom. We're out.
Oh, shirts in the below. They're there as well.